C3 updates with me, Indra Marpal.
The latest from Indonesia and the world.
Where 200,000 Palestinians workers without jobs.
Presented in an accurate,
expected to reach 4.95 meters.
Timely and up-to-date manner.
Democrat Tim Walz and Republican J.D. Vance run after each other's running mates on Tuesday.
Only on C3 updates every Monday to Friday at 2 and 4 p.m.
Selamat pagi, good morning Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Welcome to the C Morning Show. No, it's great today because it's been so long. I haven't met these girls.
Hi.
Hey, good morning, Carol, Marissa.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good.
I'm a little bit tired, but really,
Long
Long trip, yeah. We haven't seen her for ages, by the way.
I haven't seen you for a month to be exact. How are you guys?
Great. Thank you. Yes.
It's funny because the last time I think I presented with you guys, we still had Pak Joko Widodo as president.
Right.
That long, right? Like 3 weeks.
It's 1 month.
It's 1 month, Tom. And now we have Prabowo Subianto as the new president of Indonesia. Congratulations, Pak Prabowo. Good morning to you. Oh my gosh, it is a joy to be back at the desk here with my colleagues Tommy and Carol, and also you to bring you your morning news. Indeed, we will have a lot of top stories coming from around the world. And one of them is actually going to be, of course, the U.S. election. Yes, everybody's keeping an eye on that. Do not worry, because we will have a live report from VOA's Chris Casquejo on the latest exit poll and more headlines, of course, coming from around the world. And an insightful discussion always coming your way. It is part of the menu. We will be speaking with the Society of Renewable Energy on how to accelerate Indonesia's energy transition through capacity building. We will be here. Do not worry. For the next 3 hours, I'm Marissa Anita.
And I'm Caroline Saramani right here. In addition to that, of course, we would like to greet our viewers. Very good morning to all of you. And for those of you that is now tuning in from Fox Splash Australia, Macau Cable TV Channel 84, Vision Philippines Channel 58, Mabuhay, Air Cable Philippines, and Singtel Singapore Channel 15, and StarHub Channel 720. And as always, right here in the C Morning Show, we will begin our show with our headlines. Tommy?
All right, Carol. Sparks flew out from a Trigana air passenger plane with a flight number IL-327. This caused panic among passengers who then attempted to use emergency exit.
Voters in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, headed to the polls early to cast their ballots in one of the nation's most historic presidential races.
And from the Middle East, we have the 6th Mercy Emergency Medical Team that has started treating of several victims of Israel attacks at a local hospital.
And later in our talk show, we will discuss about the youth-led decarbonization project which transforms waste into renewable resources while also helping to reduce carbon emissions. And now let's start our first headline. As sparks flew out from an engine in one of the wings of a Trigana Air passenger plane with a flight number IL-327 bound for Wamena from Jayapura. And this caused panic among passengers who then attempted to use the emergency exit.
Sparks flew out from an engine in one of the wings of a Trigana passenger plane at around 11:20 a.m. East Indonesia time Tuesday. This prompted one of the passengers trying to open the emergency exit. The Santani Airport Angkasa 1 office confirmed that the incident prevented the plane from flying to Wamena.
In addition, authorities evacuated 121 passengers, and the airport, along with airline staff, also provided medical treatment for a number of injured passengers. They are now waiting for investigation by the National Transportation Safety Committee to find out the cause of this incident.
Sekitar pukul 11.21 adanya insiden maskapai Trigana Air dengan kode penerbangan IL237 dengan tujuan ke Wamena dari Palestina. Kali ini insiden dikarenakan salah penumpang membuka pintu darurat saat melihat adanya percikan api di mesin pesawat. Saat ini seluruh penumpang, sekitar 121 penumpang sudah dilakukan penanganan petugas bandara sama maskapai, di mana terdapat 4 penumpang mengalami luka ringan dan sudah ditangani oleh Balai Kesehatan Bandara Sentani. Saat ini dari pesawat masih menunggu dari pihak KNKT untuk melakukan pengecekan terkait insiden ini.
Soekarno-Hatta Airport Police Immigration Office and the Banten Migrant Workers Protection Office, or BP3ME, recently arrested 3 human traffickers. They were brought in as they attempted to send several illegal Indonesian migrants to Cambodia, the Middle East, and Europe.
Meanwhile, a joint team composed of East Aceh police personnel arrested 3 human traffickers who tried to bring 3 illegal Rohingya individuals to Indonesia. They landed at the coast of the Munasah Asan village in East Aceh. One among the traffickers is a Myanmar national, while the rest are Aceh natives.
The Soekarno-Hatta Airport Police Crime Unit arrested 3 human traffickers on Tuesday afternoon. They were brought in as they attempted to send 3 illegal Indonesian migrant workers abroad from the Soekarno-Hatta International Airport in Tangerang, Banten.
The perpetrators tried to deceive authorities by transiting in Singapore before heading to Qatar. Authorities have seized passports, communication devices, and plane tickets as evidence.
The Soekarno-Hatta Airport Police have worked with related instances to prevent 28 illegal Indonesian migrants from being sent abroad in the past month. Many such illegal migrants mostly aim to head to Cambodia, the Middle East, and Europe.
The East Aceh Police recently arrested 3 human traffickers for bringing illegal Rohingya immigrants, and they were recently stranded at the Manasa Asan village in East Aceh Regency.
They arrive on a boat operated by a Myanmar national. Meanwhile, an Aceh native with the initial IS worked as a guide for the illegal Rohingya immigrants. An Aceh resident with the initial AY owned the boat that was used in the human trafficking operation. The 3 suspects are now currently under investigation and will face legal consequences.
And now we'll shift our focus to the United States. We know we're still midday right there in the United States, whether you're in the East Coast and also on the West Coast, as voters in Bucks County, Pennsylvania headed to the polls early to cast their ballots in one of the nation's most historic presidential races.
People also waited in line to vote outside a polling station at the Dryland United Church of Christ in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and voters have the power to determine which party will control the House and Senate.
As you can see, lines started to form outside an elementary school in Langhorne, Bucks County, Pennsylvania, as early as 6 a.m. Voters also lined up at a polling station at the Farmersville Elementary School in Easton, Pennsylvania.
Now, polls indicate that Harris has taken the lead in the battleground states of Pennsylvania and enjoys minor leads in Wisconsin as well as Michigan. Meanwhile, Trump still has a small lead in Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, and a huge advantage in the state of Arizona. By the way, of these key battleground states, Arizona is +3 now for Trump, and we know, especially for these 7 states, at least when you have to, to win it, you have to have the +5.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of the swing states, what are they, right? As you mentioned, Carol, there are 7. They are Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. So everybody's keeping an eye on these 7 states.
Yeah.
big states.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just, it's very funny because, you know, this is going to be the most tightest race ever.
Yes.
I mean, from the national polls, it's still 1% or 1 point difference. Still Harris leading. But again, on this battleground states, it's still up to, right now, it's even up. And we'll just have to see those 270 electoral votes. We remember 2016, so we were there, by the way.
Yes, I was.
You know, Hillary Clinton was winning the popular votes. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
yeah, who was sitting there on the Oval Office is the other opponent. So we shall see.
All right, guys, now let's move on to the next one. Still in the U.S. election, Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz and his family made a final election day stop in Pennsylvania before joining his running mate in Washington, D.C.
Yes, meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris already cast her vote a week earlier. Former President Donald Trump arrived in Palm Beach, Florida Tuesday to cast his ballot.
Tim Walz and his wife Gwen and 2 children stopped by a restaurant in Harrisburg to thank Pennsylvanians for their votes. He also encouraged his supporters to urge everyone to vote. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris took part in several radio interviews across key swing states.
On the opposing side, Palm Beach County authorities deployed at least 15 officers, including local sheriff's deputies and Secret Service agents to prepare for Trump's arrival at the polling station.
Proof of citizenship and one-day voting, it would all be over by 10 and 5. She always have regrets. I can't think of any, to be honest.
Yes, efforts to get votes was still happening until the last minute. For example, Kamala Harris visited a DNC-hosted phone bank in Washington, D.C. Tuesday to call and thank her supporters for casting their ballots.
That's right, Marissa. As previously mentioned, Harris did a series of radio interviews before visiting the Democratic National Committee DNC headquarters. The voting process mostly ran without problems across the country, with only isolated reports of minor problems, including long lines, technical issues, and ballot printing errors.
Meanwhile, Trump cast his ballot in Florida and expressed his confidence regarding his chances.
I just wanted to come by and thank everybody for all you are doing. This truly represents the best of who we are. Just reaching out to folks, letting them know that we're all in it together, reminding them of the power of their vote through their voice. This is just the best. And I thank you all so very much. And I am just like interrupting. Have you voted already? You did, thank you. Thank you so very much. You know, it's so important that everybody participates, and I thank you, because I'm sure you got a lot of other things you could be doing, taking the time to vote. Really, thank you for that.
Although many U.S. voters are anxious, they continue to cast their ballots in one of the nation's most historic presidential races.
Meanwhile, in Phoenix, Arizona, Christy Castorina and a team from the Arizona Humane Society brought along their puppies to accompany them during the voting process. Oh.
A Brooklyn resident named Alexandra Silver Smith expressed her anxiety over the election. She also thinks that the election result will not come out tonight. The election is a true toss-up between Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump, and voters will also be determining which party will control the House and Senate.
I came with Lulu because we went for a walk, and she kind of eased the tension here, I think. We walked in, and everybody was talking to her and commenting on how cute she is, and so happy I brought my dog, and I thought that was really nice.
We know that voting can be a stressful time for a lot of people. We also want to celebrate everyone doing their civic duty and coming out to vote, so we thought what better way than bringing some puppies out to the polls to give someone a little reward and a little serotonin boost just for coming out today and voting.
I have a lot of anxiety. I mean, all of our friends. It's been a huge talking point. It really reminded me of 2020 and 2016 going up to today. And I think I still can't believe that this is election day, honestly, because I think there's just so much anxiety, and I don't think we'll know results tonight. which I'm not looking forward to waiting even longer.
Ooh, the U.S. presidential election is taking place on November the 5th in the U.S., 6th in Indonesia, with results expected to come out today. And to know more about that matter, we are now connected with Chris Casquejo from VOA, live from Michigan. Hi, Chris. In-person voting is well underway in the U.S. to elect the next U.S. president. So how has the election day been in Michigan, one of the swing states?
Yes, I'm in the battleground state of Michigan, which has 15 electoral votes, and of course, distinct electoral votes. So there's other that are at stake. Voting has been going well here in Michigan. It's at about 40